Hey guys, Jack Clemens here. Welcome back to the Jack Clemens Show. Sorry it's been a while, I haven't been here. There's been some reasons for it, but they're not important anymore. So more videos coming soon. Today we're starting a series on modifying a Glock handgun. Before I start talking about what we're going to do and everything else, let's talk about actually why you modify a gun. When I first started carrying and shooting and training, I carried an unmodified Glock. I left it stock, even the sights, which I later learned suck. But a lot of times I'll see guys buy a gun, and the first thing they do is they run over to the gunsmith or anything, and they'll be like, "What can I do to this gun?" And a lot of times I'll see guys get sold on something that maybe isn't really that beneficial to them, but they're being told it is. Well, because a lot of times a gunsmith's job is to sell you on his services. Modifying a gun should mean something tangible to you. It should be a benefit that you know is going to work for you. One of the ones that I get seen sold a lot is people put a lighter trigger in. They'll put a 3.5 pound trigger in a standard Glock. And they get told that'll make them shoot better. No, it just makes the trigger lighter, so you're less likely to jerk it. Well, shooting more often and taking training will teach you how to better handle that trigger. I've shot just about every 3 pound trigger group out there, or 4.5 pound or 3.5 pound trigger out there. I haven't liked any of them. Either they're mushy at a point, they're soft, the reset doesn't feel natural. After many thousands of rounds, the 5.5 pound trigger that's in the Glock stock, that feels very natural to me. That has a good crisp reset and everything else in there. So it's always funny to me when somebody tells me this 3.5 pound trigger is better, and I go, "Why?" They always go, because it's better? Yeah, if you don't tangibly know what makes something better, then you're just doing it because someone told you to. You're just parroting somebody. If you know, in my opinion, if you want to become a better shooter, you need to learn what modification makes you a better shooter. What tangible benefit does this modification do? And everything that I do to my Glock, I've come over the years to go, okay, this is a tangible benefit. This is something that will work for me under these circumstances, and I get this bonus out of it. So the first one I'm going to talk about are sights. Glocks come with cheap plastic sights. They're pretty much placeholders. They're just Glock's way of saying, look, you need to find sights that work for you, but until then we're going to put these cheap plastic ones in there. Getting them, you can remove them with a multi-tool. Like, they just knock right out. What are you looking for in sights? Well, metal. In my opinion, I like a bright, very high visible front sight and a subdued rear sight. So I'll run excess big dot sights or straight 8 sights. A couple others are out there that I really liked. Warren Tacticals are what I have on my 34, and I've really liked those. Trijicon has their HD sights. I really like those. I'm not really a fan of fiber optic. I see them fail a lot where the little fiber optic will walk out. I don't think I've ever seen somebody that carries fiber optic who says, like, oh no, it'll never walk out on me. Like, I see that happen all the time. And for some guys it's not that big of a deal, but to me, I like the tritium. I like something that I know is most likely going to be there. I guess the tritium could get knocked off, or you know, the sight itself could get knocked off, and then, well, we're going to have to figure something out. But I see fiber optics fail a lot more. The rear sight, I like to have a bit of a shelf on it. Now I'm going to show you a modification later to make one-handed weapon malfunction clearances a lot easier, but that ledge needs to be there. Like, even you can see, like, just with my pinky, I'm able to pull the slide back a little bit. Rob Pincus has a rear sight called the Claw, and that thing's like super aggressive for that kind of stuff, so make sure it's not one of these gentle slopes. A lot of times they get called no snag sights. I want all the snag, more snag. I am about the snag, no trouble. So that's the first thing I do, is I get a good set of tritium sights on here. These are excess big dots. These are probably what I've carried and shot with the most, so I'm very comfortable with them. I know not everybody loves them, but for me, I really enjoy them. I've taken a lot of force-on-force classes. One of the big benefits to these sights is when I was taking those classes, I never lost my front sight in a scramble. I was never not aware of where my front sight was when I was facing off against another person with sim guns. So really a big fan of those. And again, I've used other sights. I'm not saying these are the only sights for me, but I really enjoy these for what they can do. So next up, I got to deal with my grip. I have big hands, so my grip doesn't naturally fall where these grooves want me to, and the grip itself is fairly slick. So we're going to do some things about that in my next video. So join us for that. Step 1, modifying your Glock, get some good night sights on there, and go from there.